jumping out.
Here, we'll see. Here, now we got some sound. We won't use the
Hello, is
microphone.
anybody there? Can you hear us?
Hello.
Can you?
Okay.
Of course.
Okay,
the
who's
camera-
watching?
There we go.
Okay. Oh, Karen can hear us. Hi, guys. Okay, we're going to start over again. Sorry, all over. So yeah, here we
My
are.
name is B.
And my name is
Kim.
John. Oh,
John. And
this is B.
Kim. It's nice to meet you.
okay.
B.
No, you're B. That's right. Whatever. You're in an alternate world, an alternate reality. Okay, sitting next to Kim. Why does my face look so wide? Maybe if no, you got to be forward.
No, I don't want to be that forward.
I'll get my nose in the camera. That'll make
Yeah.
you guys all.
You don't want
upset.
just like a peek. You don't want to just let your face be seen. Oh, you are.
I'm just gonna go to the hotel.
Okay.
Stay.
Okay.
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 Will you send
I
me
get to the country. I think we will be-
one?
Well, it was really nice meeting you.
We're just saying bye to Mark. Oops. Hi, honey.
So since they're all over there,
Okay. All right. So we're back on. So I had just been asking Kim about her appearance on Seinfeld, one of my favorite shows to
One of
watch.
my favorite shows as well.
Ding, 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 ding. There she is. And she's going to tell us about it.
Okay. So, yes, I was saying Seinfeld is one of my favorite shows ever, ever, ever. I was a huge fan. I had just had my first child. He was about 9 months old, and my first audition back was Seinfeld. Anyway, so I got the role of Pam, and the episode is called Soulmate. I don't know if this got lost or not, but it was I think, second to the last season of Seinfeld. So amazing, so much fun. And Pam was Jerry's girlfriend, and the gag was that Jerry was not gaga for Pam. And then Kramer meets Pam and falls head over heels and becomes gaga and decides that Pam is his soulmate. But he gets completely tongue-tied. He doesn't know how to speak to Pam when he's in her presence. And so he enlists Newman to meet him at the bookstore that Pam works at to feed him the lines of what to say to Pam because he's so utterly tongue-tied. It's so funny and it's so sweet, and I had the absolute best time. It was so surreal. I had to really button up my professionalism because I was a huge fan, like I said, and was suddenly in Jerry's living room and in Jerry's kitchen, but they were wonderful. Everybody was nice and welcoming, and it was such a well-oiled machine and just cooked. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a great time.
we got an audience out here.
Yeah, we're doing a live. We're doing a live right now.
All right.
Yeah.
I won't.
Live from Slash and Bash. Yeah.
So
So we'll
finding out a lot about Kim today, like things people you worked with that I didn't realize because I'm such a Nightmare on Elm Street 2 fan, and I'm also a Hellraiser Bloodline fan, as I said. You worked with Patrick Swayze, Rob Lowe. I mean, you worked with some great actors. And Seinfeld on top. That's quite the career you've had going.
Thank
We
you.
were talking young Meryl Streep here.
right. I mean, she's heard that 1,000 times.
1001.
And 1,001. Well, the extra one time was this weekend. Rumor has it that she's an illegitimate child of Meryl
Not
Streep.
true.
We're spreading the rumors right here on
Not
DK
true.
and the Bees.
Ask
She's
my
gonna hate
mother.
us.
Not true. No, but I was sharing with Dee that I had come across, somebody had come across that and told me about it, that there was this rumor on the internet, and it's 100% not true.
So the Seinfeld episode she was telling us about is proof, what's the word? Proof, I can't think of the word. Proof positive how Seinfeld is a little, cuckoo, because who would not be gaga over this one, right?
Well, Jerry evidently.
Well, that's what I mean. But Jerry's,
What does he know?
what does he know? Gorgeous, gorgeous. And was Elaine in that episode?
She was, but she and I didn't have
Have an interaction together.
We didn't.
Who was the funniest of the three? Kramer and
George.
George.
I mean, Kramer is very funny. The interesting thing about Michael Richards.
Oh no, we're
is-
seeing there's a crazy cat lady walking by here.
Crazy cat
Oh my
lady.
goodness,
She's got cats everywhere.
all over the
Neck,
crazy cat lady. But we love crazy cat
shoulder.
ladies,
Oh,
right?
we love cats.
We love cat ladies
Okay.
nowadays.
Evidently. Oh, we
do.
definitely do.
We definitely
what am I
love-
talking about?
Yeah, especially
We celebrate.
we celebrate cat ladies.
right?
Kids or no kids, we love
We
those
love-
cat ladies.
We honor cat ladies. What's wrong with being a cat lady?
Exactly.
Um,
Anyway, no politics. Okay. But yes. So George was funny. I would
George
imagine.
was very funny, and so Jason Alexander was so welcoming and encouraging, because as exciting as it was, it's intimidating. It was intimidating getting onto that set, and it was in front of a live audience, which was so wonderful, so energizing. But he would be when he wasn't in a scene, when the actors who weren't actually shooting at the time, they weren't in a scene, they'd be off stage. But what am I trying to say? Off stage, but in front of where we were filming, in front of the set, so they were watching us shoot. And whenever we finish a take, he would always rush up to us. It was so terrific. It was so funny. That was great. Just, we appreciate that. Actors appreciate the community and support of other actors, especially if you're working with people that you admire. That's always a good thing.
And to walk into a already established show, like the only I guest starred on TV shows, but none that I so admired and loved myself. So if it's a show that you've been really watching and you love these characters and everything, to suddenly be on set with all of them, like how crazy is that? And a live audience. I've never had, like, aside from theater, I've never had a
So
film.
much fun, because you are, as you can imagine, you're getting that immediate spontaneous reaction, and the fans are the fans, and they're fans. They love the show. That's why they're here. And so it was a highlight for sure.
Wow. What an amazing experience. That and the cap, that's something really worth celebrating. And also, before we talk about all the other amazing things, you've been on Elm Street 2, which is what we mostly are at these conventions for, or Elm Street appearances. So when I was writing my book, I watched all of the Elm Streets, and my fans heard me admit that a lot of us, whatever the franchise is, a lot of the actors have only seen the original and the one they're in. I mean, that's just the way it goes with a lot of us. But no, it happens, unless they're more, but not everybody. But I made a point before writing my book of watching every single one of the Elm Streets, and I was blown away by Elm Street 2. So I had known Mark for a long time, and I started to get to know you. And what a beautiful love story! Oh my gosh.
It really is.
It's a love story, and you.
Thank you for saying that.
But your
I think
character
that's true.
too is like both. I mean, love Mark, love all the characters, but your character really stuck her neck out. I mean, literally, what you did for love and facing him, and it was an incredible character. Like, I don't think it gets, people love you, so maybe you are getting enough accolade, but you deserve even more in my book. I mean, I was really impressed.
I appreciate that.
And,
I really do.
Because I had just heard all the, previous controversy, obviously, which Mark has, showcased in his film, his documentary. But now the love beyond the, the gay pride that people have, all that aside, the film is these two, you and Jesse, or your character and Jesse, and it's a love story.
Exactly. And I appreciate you saying that again, because oftentimes people will ask me in Q&As at these types of shows, conventions, what have you, was it obvious to me the gay undertones of the script, of the story, and whether I was naive, and I definitely probably was somewhat naive. I was very young when I shot the film, but I didn't get it. Because for me, it was the love story. It was Lisa loving Jessie so deeply, so much, that she couldn't do anything but try and save him, try and help him. And so I didn't get anything. I didn't, honestly, truly did not get anything else beyond that because I was so focused on their story, on her story and their story together. And I agree. It's very dear to me. It was the first thing I ever did, and I learned a lot. I was surrounded by so many great and experienced actors who were so kind. I mean, I felt very fortunate in that regard because it was a very safe space to learn while doing. I mean, I had done theater in school. I had done student film when I was a senior in high school for USC. But this was my first professional experience, and Robert Englund was wonderful too. So professional and so helpful and supportive. So yeah, I felt great.
And you shared with me, maybe I shouldn't be exposing this, but you kind of had a little thing for Mark, didn't you?
I did. Oh, I absolutely. I totally did. So I had seen. I don't remember when Come Back to the Five and Dime Jimmy Dean came out, but it was definitely while I was in high school, and I had gone to see it. I must have seen it with friends, and I fell in love with Mark Patton as his character in that film. And when I found out that he was the star of the street, I was going to be working with him. It was a sweet moment.
You went gaga.
I went gaga.
Yeah,
I did.
He was gaga.
I was
Really?
gaga.
Yeah.
And like you said, such a great cast too. We were at Kansas City Crypticon last year. Robert Russell was there. Such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Marcus Bell, both really cool. Marshall Bell, excuse me, I always want to say Marcus, but Marshall Bell, really great guys. Yeah, they were really cool.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and this scene when you face Freddie, and I mean, that's a face only a mother can love. And this beautiful young woman having to go to that burnt up face and kiss it, because of what she knows is inside, I'm gonna tear up. No, it really was a touching moment, and you did it so your vulnerabilities. So you were saying it was a safe set, and it showed in your work because you were so open and vulnerable and present. It was beautiful, beautiful. So I just want to really
And your
honor.
character really kept everything so centered in that movie because without you, everything would have been a mess. It wasn't for you just being there and keeping it together.
And that's
Great
characters, the
I
hero.
think it was ahead of its time in that regard because it really was a total role flip in terms of who the hero was.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because you were saving, because Mark was battling this, Freddie, then this inner demon, literally, and your love saves the day. I mean, it's beautiful. We should be changing that to saying,
I know.
Kim Myers. It's up on the. Do you want me to do the?
You can do everything.
We're gonna have to switch because
John's like the worst technical. Yeah,
We're gonna switch seats because I know how to do.
Technical
No, you stay where you are.
adjustments.
You stay in the middle.
I'll
You
just.
go on that side.
I don't know if they can hear it well, so I'm gonna let you guys be there. I'll step behind every once in a
No, I
while.
see my big old head anyways. So no, John, you gotta be here because if I'm doing the technical, then you have to ask the questions.
Oh boy, you're gonna make me ask questions.
Okay, because there's so much. This lady, there's so much more to Miss Kim than most of us know. Go ahead. You talk to Kim.
And so
Right, guys, the next movie's about ready to start.
next movie, guys.
It's Payback.
So we got the next movie announced. They're doing some independent films here. But Kim, so did Nightmare on Elm Street 2. That was a huge role for you. Obviously. Was that one of your first roles?
Elm Street 2 was the first one.
So that was your first time really getting into it. What got you into acting? Were you a theater actor?
I was in school, so elementary school. I discovered acting. I always loved singing. I would always sing at home with the hair with my Olivia Newton-John. Who else did I sing? Anyway, acting was not something I thought about. And then when my graduating year of elementary school, our teacher, my beloved teacher, Mrs. Blatt, required all the students to audition, and I was shy, and not with my friends, but I was shy in big groups, and I didn't know what auditioning at all. She said, up you go. And so I sang, we all had to sing a song and then we had to speak some dialogue. And I got the lead, ended up getting the lead in Oliver Twist. So I played Nancy. And I had the time of my life. I was just it brought me such joy. And I felt so happy being on stage. And that planted the seed for sure. And then I did all the high school musicals in high school. And that led me to, so my senior year of high school is when, through a friend of my drama teacher, she heard about a student film being cast in the grad program at USC, which is a very, very reputable film school. So long story short, a couple friends and I went, I got cast as the lead in that. They have big industry screenings for USC student films. And through that screening, I met some people who led me to my first agent, and that got the ball rolling. And she was the one. She was evidently she was. My summer between freshman and sophomore year of college, she submitted me for Elm Street 2, and I got my SAG card through that film, and that's I got the ball rolling.
Well, you've been in a couple of movies that I absolutely love, like Nightmare on Elm Street 2. I watched 1 and 2 back to back, and I never got the hate. I didn't realize the hate until I got older and the internet got out. But I think it's a great addition to the series. 1 and 2 flow nice for me, even though they're very different with the cast. But they're both great movies. Scariest Freddy's ever looked. But you're also in another film that I'm a huge fan of, and I brought this up to you. Hellraiser 4 Bloodline. How was it? What was it like filming that? Was that a tough shoot, or was that easy? Because I know when you get to the 4th in a series, it can be a little difficult.
Not for me. I mean, I loved the role. I actually was fortunate enough to be given the opportunity to, once I'd auditioned, to choose between 2 roles. It was either the one that I ended up choosing, which was the present day aspect of that story, or the I think the first part took place in like the Renaissance France, Renaissance period of France. And I chose the one, obviously I chose the one that I chose. I had a great time. Kevin Yeager was a wonderful director. I had met him, of course, before on Elm Street when he was, of course, the head of special effects, Freddy makeup. But he was wonderful. I had a great time. And I was drawn to it because I didn't have kids yet, but I was really drawn to that maternal experience of this mother. I guess I like to say.
You always seem to get that role where you are such a core character in it.
I like the dynamic nature of those roles, and I like the challenge. It's exciting to get into that, to face something that's scary, and to find your way through, and to protect what's good, and to stand up for what's good, and succeed. Anyway, so that was really gratifying. And I ran into Cortland about 2 years ago at a show, and he plays my son in Hellraiser, and I hadn't seen him since he was a little boy, and we had so much fun together. I just adored him. He was so beautiful, much in the face, and now I'm seeing him 2 years ago, and he's a dad, and
it's weird how
It's just
times
wild.
change everything, and it's
Really
like, wow, you see Miko Hughes and Heather Langenkamp together, and because they did Pets, her husband did Pet Something, but New Nightmare. So you see a lot. I know you've had the same experience where you work with a child actor, and then they're growing up, they got the families, and you hadn't seen them since they were yay tall.
And my son Freddie, he was such a little boy.
Yeah, he was something.
I don't think we can count.
No, well, he was just a little baby when he was born. But you know what?
Like a
But Kim, what you were saying, I think what your character had to face. Haven't you found, like, doing these conventions and meeting so many specifically horror fans, and trying to learn why horror has been so important in so many people's lives. I'm sure you've had the same experience. Like when we first started to do conventions, people would come and they would say things like, not just, "Oh, it was such a cool movie, I love the kills," but saying, "Oh, thank you so much. It was such an important part of my childhood." And I remember thinking in the beginning, I was like, quite honestly, I was a little horrified. Like, wait,
Right.
these horror films are part of like such a meaningful part. But I've learned from you guys, from the fans, I think it's been cathartic for so many people because
That's
they
it.
identify
I think that's it.
either with the final girl, in the films where they're facing fears and like terrifying things, but finding the courage and finding something within themselves to defeat the evil. And conversely, some other people also identify with the killer because they've been tormented as kids. They were bullied, whether it's parents or kids in school, and it kind of lets them imagine that they're like attacking their villains. And most of
It's cathartic.
it's
I think, in
cathartic.
some way, yeah.
And not to excuse all the killing, but most of the killers came from, like, there's a reason. Like Freddie was, he was abandoned by his mom in his mind, right? And he was tormented by kids, teased, kid, son of 100 maniacs, and then had Alice Cooper beating the crap out of him. So he, and then with Ari, Jason, my other son. Jason was again also, born disfigured and then teased and tormented and let to die. Like, they have reasons. So I think a lot of people identify with that as well. Like, here I'm teased and I'm tormented, and so it empowers them in some way, right?
I totally agree. It gives a voice to what they maybe can't express or feel safe to express in their own lives.
Right, because they recognize it's
And that's the
fake.
of art,
art.
right? Any kind of
Film itself.
film.
And the one thing is, all of the killers in the horror genres, especially in the 80s horror, they don't use guns. Anyway.
No, they don't.
They don't. Just decide. Yeah, just decide. So it's very, very nice. If you just kill with like claws and stuff, that's totally fine. I'm just kidding. No, even fiction. But
I was gonna say, one of the things, you've been in other roles. A lot of people know you from Nightmare on Elm Street too, Hellraiser. But does it shock you sometimes they'll come up in a role that you were in and you're surprised that they come up and it's their favorite movie and they want to talk about that? Not Nightmare on Elm Street too.
Yes, at these kinds of shows, it definitely it's a sweet surprise when someone brings up a series I did years ago called Key West. I played a marine biologist, dolphin research trainer. That was such an amazing experience. But less talked about. And so when people bring something like that up, it's fun. Yeah, I love it.
I know a lot of new actors like that too. It's like when it's something different. But you've worked with guys, Patrick Swayze. What was it like working with the legend Patrick Swayze? Rest in peace.
Definitely rest in peace, Patrick. He was something.
Shane Bennett. Yeah.
Thank
Frankencon.
you. I appreciate that, Shane.
we'll get back. Sorry, I interrupted by
That's
posting it.
okay.
Yeah.
Let me talk about Patrick first.
Yeah.
Needless to say, I was a huge fan of Patrick's from Dirty Dancing. And he was absolutely, I can't speak highly enough about him. He was a gentleman. He was professional. He was supportive. He was funny. He was really silly and goofy. Of course, his history is, his background is in dancing. He was a beautiful ballet dancer with, I think, with the ABT, American Ballet Theatre. His wife was a dancer as well. And I had it. It was wonderful. Patrick, just really, really, we had, some intense shoots, really intense shoots. And then a lot of fun kind of scattered about. So it was pretty fun for Patrick passed, but I'm so grateful that I got to work with him.
Yeah, and he was, whether it was dancing or being a badass in Roadhouse, I mean, that dude.
Outsiders.
Yeah, Outsiders. Yep, Red Dawn.
Yeah.
Love those movies. I definitely miss them. Must have been really cool. And I mean, you've worked with so many now. Rob Lowe. I was asking if he ever aged. I got to ask if she ever ages either, because I mean, you look great.
Amazing.
What was that? 1980.
85.
85, excuse me. 85. So, yeah, you
Yeah,
haven't
10.
aged. Yeah, it's 10 years old. But I mean, you still look wonderful. So does Beatrice. I'm younger than you guys, and I look much older. Yeah, so I'm the old man here.
So Kim,
But-
what is it? So
Yeah, well, I want to say something about Shane's comment about The Sitter being a movie that hasn't been talked about enough. Thank you, Shane. I really appreciate that. That was a story about a woman, Nell, who was my character, who talking about people who've experienced trauma, whether it's from their upbringing or bullied in school, what have you. Nell is an example of that, and she goes into her inner life and she journals a lot. She fantasizes a lot about what her life could be, and meeting that partner someday in her life, or what that would look like. And she really dives. I mean, we can speak in plain terms. She would be diagnosed with mental illness now, but within the context of the story, she's a beautiful soul, a very sensitive soul who gets mistreated by her family. She gets her parents died when she was very young. She's raised by her aunt and uncle who did not, they were abusive, and she retreats into this world for safety and for comfort. And she has an opportunity to take care of a little girl, and this little girl becomes everything to her. And I won't give it away because you should see the movie if you can find it.
I'm gonna
Sitter.
look for
So,
it. Yeah,
just like we were
that's
talking about, one of the movies that a fan brings up to you, and you get to reminisce about it. Maybe not had a chance to talk about it in a while, and
Yeah.
brings up
Yeah,
those old
this is a
memories
great
and
example.
talking about it. Yeah, so great question. I was supposed to fly to FrankenCon, but I just couldn't make it. I forget what. Oh,
Oh.
flight delays.
Mm.
And I was only going for a day because I wanted to go check out that event. It's Richard Ewell, I think, runs that one. I think it's Richard.
I'm not sure about that.
But some really nice people that were behind it. I know the Scarefest people were going went there. So I was gonna go. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to go. And you were one of the people I wanted to meet. So
Thanks.
yeah, so I'm excited to get to meet you here.
yeah, fantastic. So yeah. And
Someone was asking.
if you were going to be at the
highlighted
NEPA, yeah.
at some convention. I am not aware of that convention, but we'll see.
I
You better
know.
give the phone call you
Yeah.
request.
I mean, they've got a ton of people. I was surprised when I saw that. So like, you're not there. Well, maybe.
We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, I'll have to check with her schedule. And then what else have we not talked about? Let's see.
Letters from the Killer. Did we talk about?
That's the Patrick Swayze.
That's
Oh, that's
Patrick
what Patrick
Swayze.
Swayze. Key West was with Rob Lowe, right?
No, that's
Illegally
illegally
Yours.
yours. Key West with Jennifer Tilly and Fisher Stevens. Really a great cast. Brian Thompson, Leland Crook, he's wonderful. But yeah, Illegally Yours was a film I did, directed by Peter Bogdanovich. For those of you film buffs, Peter Bogdanovich passed away a couple of years ago. He was a prolific, brilliant director who directed The Last Picture Show, What's Up, Doc? Let's stop with pause on Last Picture Show. It was an incredible film. Jeff Bridges, as I think it was his 20s, Cloris Leachman. Sybil Shepherd.
Wow.
I mean, it's an all-star cast, and they were so young at that time.
So then you were like an infant?
Well, I'm not in that.
Oh,
no,
you're
no,
talking
no,
about.
no.
I'm thinking, wait, what?
Yes, I was an infant. I started
You were a little
acting when
baby
I
that was
when
just
I
in the
could
background?
crawl.
No, okay.
No,
Oh, you're talking about
so,
Peter, what he
Peter.
directed?
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
that
Okay.
was his big,
Yes.
first
Okay.
big, really renowned film. And then What's Up, Doc? Streisand.
Oh, I love that.
Ryan O'Neal.
Ryan O'Neal. They were so cute together, weren't they?
They
They
were
did a couple. And I just remember I fell
They
so
were
in love with Ryan
so
O'Neal
Ryan
because with his
O'Neal. Oh
little
my God,
glasses, and
I
I was like,
know.
yeah,
That's a funny film. It's
yeah,
a great
it's
film.
adorable.
But
But-
Peter directed Mask with Cher
Oh,
and
wonderful
Eric
too.
Stoltz, who
Yeah.
plays her son.
Yeah.
It's an incredible
Beautiful
film.
movie,
I highly
yeah.
recommend that. And then we did Illegally Yours. Illegally Yours had good intentions. It's supposed to be a screwball comedy. Peter was a big fan of films like Bringing Up Baby, The Philadelphia Story, and I think wanted to create a film of that genre with that kind of fast-paced comedic energy. It's, it's okay, to be honest. I had a great time, and so Rob Lowe's the star, Colleen Campson, and I'm in it. Kenneth Mars, if anyone's familiar, look up Kenneth Mars. He's been in everything. I met my future husband on that film because my husband was Peter's personal assistant, and
Your hubby's great.
my hubby's he's great. Thank you. He's a good guy. Yeah, this is illegally yours.
Wow.
Now I got a bunch of stuff I got to rewatch. I got to rewatch Seinfeld again. I know the episode.
I do too. I do.
Because I watched every single episode.
I
That
loved
was my
it.
favorite show. So
Yeah.
one of them.
And the fact that he wasn't gaga over her.
I know. How
What's
can you
wrong
not be
with Jerry?
gaga over Kim? Yeah, Jerry, what's wrong with you?
I'm never doing a live next to Kim again, though. This is crazy.
What are you talking about?
Well, because
You
when I'm-
guys both look great. You guys both look fantastic.
He
Considering
looks amazing.
we had to get up
my face
early.
looks compared to yours. Anyway,
Look at the lovely ladies.
I have to hide way back somewhere. I don't know what it is.
Elm Street ladies. They age very well. They look wonderful.
Well, I am your senior anyhow, so.
My senior?
Yes.
We'll talk about this later.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
definitely, darling.
Full 22. They're arguing 24, 25. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares?
But it's been lovely. I'm so glad we had this opportunity to catch up with the beautiful Kim Myers. And looks like the show is about to start back up again. So we better cut it off. But
right.
we've had this little
Thanks,
moment
guys.
where we can chit chat, and it's
joining.
yeah. And John and I will be back next
Tuesday. We're
Tuesday.
going to be on Tuesday.
with
Michael Bailey, unfortunately, isn't going to be able to make it, but Doug Tate should be there. We got Ken Sagos. He's going to pop in. Beatrice, myself, and we'll see who else can sneak in there. We never know.
Yeah.
We never know. But it'll be a fun show. We're going to talk about Crypticon Minneapolis, if I can spit out the words. And that's going to be a really, really cool show. We got Lisa Wilcox. We got Ken Sagos, Danny Hassel. So it's going to be another Nightmare on Elm Street kind of weekend. So
yeah, I'm gonna be. I'm Lisa and I are in 3 cons coming up back to back each weekend.
I know you're stuck
crazy.
with me back to back.
There you go.
She's going to have to put up with the DK. So
And Kim and I got to be in London.
We did.
That was fun. That was
so
a
fun.
lovely.
Isn't that fun?
Have us back, London.
Oh, please. We love London.
We did.
We
We
love
really did it.
the British fans.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, we'll be right there, guys.
Bye, guys.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Just for